everybody, welcome to another episode of the Patriot Games. I don't know about you, but I love gear videos. I love learning about new products. I love watching other people's loadouts, seeing what they're using in competition, or it could just be a plate carrier loadout and it's something that I didn't even know existed, a company or a product, and I realized that I can apply that to my loadout, my gear, and make my gear maybe a little seamless or a little bit better, more comfortable, despite having to embrace the suck, and just make it a little bit better. So I love watching gear videos. I've made a loadout video for season 1 about a year ago or so, and this is kind of an update because I've made some big changes to my gear. I've made some small changes to my gear. I'm going to pull a Kamala Harris, and I've got some changes to my gear that's going to be changing, but they haven't changed yet. Anyway, we're going to start with the weapons, and this is the SIG X5 Legion. I love this gun, and for a second, a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about changing it. My friend has a CZ Shadow 2, I think it is, and that thing was smooth. Like, I don't think I've ever shot a gun as smooth as that one. It was so nice and crisp. The trigger was amazing, but we're going to stick it out with this one. There are some big changes, a big announcement with the Patriot Games coming up soon. I'm probably going to drop that next week. But if you've been following along for a little bit on here and on the Instagram, you kind of know what it is, or you could probably figure it out. But the SIG X5 Legion, that is going to be my competition gun moving forward for the foreseeable future. For the concealed carry, I am switching back to my original concealed carry. This is just an X Compact that I added the RXP to, or the Romeo 1 Pro. This is not the RXP version. It has regular sights, no back sight, because the back sight was on the rear plate. So this one shoots a lot better than the other one. I made a video on that. I'm going to try not to babble too long. This is the competition rifle. When I first started the Patriot Games, I did the first 3 with a rifle that I had to convert back. I had to change the muzzle device. I had to put a new handguard on, and around Christmas there were a bunch of deals and whatnot, and I built this one out completely. I borrowed this optic from my 300 Blackout, and this is where it's lived since then. I started with a simple red dot, went to LPVO, finally settled on this UH1. I got a 3x magnifier. For this season, I'm going to add some backup sights. I know that this is in the middle of the gun. I just don't have any real estate back here to try and figure that out. But for right now, I'm going to go shoot and see how it performs, how accurate this is in this middle position. This one up front is in the front, but this one is definitely in the middle, and we have to see how accurate that is. But other than that, this rifle is absolutely fantastic. I need to work on my sling because and I'll overlay a clip right here. It's like the rifle always winds up horizontal, and I need it to remain vertical. I don't know if that involves adding a Titan strap to keep it vertical, to keep it from swinging around. I was messing around with my friends. We were doing a little mini Patriot Games, and the rifle swung so hard that it actually created a bruise and a lump on my arm over there. So I got to figure out how to keep the rifle vertical. Next big piece of gear is the plate carrier. Absolutely love the plate carrier. I love this, the HRT rack, HRT tactical rack, Maximus placard up in front. I love it because it's got the 2 pistol holders on the side. So if we have different loadouts like 10 rounds and an 8 round, I can keep them separate. I can know where I put which one which, because if you go for your 10 instead, or you go for your 8 instead of your 10, you're going to have to reload, 2 misses, etc., etc. time. One of the things that I added mid-season were these shoulder pads, and these are from Shaw Tactical, and they just make it a little bit more comfortable on the shoulders because there is so much weight on there, especially with loaded magazines. You have your plates. The plate carrier is supposed to weigh 15 pounds at minimum, and last year I was using these plates from Spartan Armor system. These are 3+ plates, and the reason I got these was because of the weight. But what wound up happening is my plate carrier was almost 20 pounds, and I was 5 pounds overweight. We have to run, we have loaded magazines, etc., etc. It gets heavy, and every pound counts. So before this season, I was talking to the owner of RX Plates, and he makes these plates for competition. And these are not ballistic plates. These are not for self-defense. These are for competition only. And what this did was it allowed me to drop 3.5 pounds. These are actually ladies plates because the weight is a little bit less. The ladies minimum plate carrier is 12 pounds. So my plate carrier is a little on the heavier side, but these allow me to get to 15.5 pounds. So I had 3.5 pounds less than I did last season, and it made a huge difference when running. It's almost like it wasn't even there. So RX plates, they're not that expensive. They're about $100 for the 2 plates and the protective sleeve around it so it doesn't rip up your plate carrier from the inside. Now, the biggest piece of gear that I improved was myself. I've made videos about this, I've made mentions about it, or whatever. I weighed 220 pounds at the beginning of season 1, August of 2021. And then this year I was 190 pounds. So I lost 30 pounds. And with that, I felt so much better in this last competition. I was lighter, I was more energetic, the weights didn't overwhelm me, etc., etc. But one bad thing came of it. My belt. And this is a fantastic belt. Blue Alpha Gear belt with high-speed gear pouches, Safariland holster, T-Rex dump pouch, high-speed gear IFAK, which we really don't need the IFAK when we're competing. It's just added weight, so I wound up taking that out towards the end of last season. But fantastic belt. Problem is I lost like 6 inches off my waist, and guess what? It doesn't fit anymore. It is definitely loose. So interesting enough that HRT Tactical reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try their new belt. So that is going to be a big change that it's going to be coming, and that belt deserves a review in and of itself, so I didn't want to include it in this video. So that is going to be changing probably in the next week or so, and our next competition is in November in Palm Bay. And speaking of Palm Bay, when we were there, we had to climb up those walls and whatnot. I had trouble with my boots. I love my boots. They keep my feet dry, they're nice and comfortable, but there wasn't a lot of grip, and I could not grip the walls when trying to go over. So I might look into a trail runner shoe. I got these waterproof shoes for my trip to Costa Rica, and those have really good grip on the bottom, so I might use those. Just have to see how comfortable they are when I'm running around and whatnot. But other than that, the gear is somewhat the same, but pretty different. Definitely fine-tuned it a little bit, and I hope you got something out of it. I hope you liked this video. That's going to do it for this one. I've definitely rambled on long enough. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video.